Halftime at Wembley in the Euro semi-final. Italy and Spain is still goalless as we speak. Interesting times at the European Championship. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. I'm Yemi Adebayo. A quick situation report right there on your screen. You've seen it already. It's goalless. It's halftime. The players are about getting into the field. And of course, we'll be your eyes and your ears if anything is happening right there. We'll let you know. Of course, interesting times. We'll talk about that later, especially when I bring in my partners on the show. We'll take a look at that and a whole lot more for you on the show tonight. Tonight, we'll continue our countdown to the Olympics. We'll tell you the number of days and the stories. And of course, the good news about Team Nigeria. We'll talk about that as we move on the show. We'll talk about the Aiteo Cup. We'll also talk about the Grand Slam tennis tournament currently going on. Of course, we've for the guys at the quarterfinal stage. For the ladies, we know the players that will be in the semi-finals. We'll talk about all of that as we go on the show. That's the outlook of the show tonight. At some point, we'll also, as we continue our countdown to the Olympics, give you some information you need to know about Team Nigeria. Who is representing Nigeria? Who are the athletes? What events? We'll do that for you on the show tonight. Before I go any further, let me quickly introduce my partner in the Lagos studio. Kaide Idris joins me now. Makes a return. Wasn't around last week. But Kaide, thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to always be here, and it's good to be back. Last week, like we always say, inevitable, happening sometimes. So I couldn't be here, but it feels good to be back.
All right, so that's it. And at some point, my colleague Austin Okonakman will also pitch in and tell us, give us some of his thoughts on all the issues happening in your fast-paced, money-spinning, and amazing world of sports. Let's give you the official countdown to the Olympics. Let's just tell you, officially, it is 17 days to go to the Olympics. Talking about the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. And like I always like to add, to be held in 2021. 17 days to go, a little over 2 weeks for the Olympics to be held. And as it is my usual practice, I'm always asking my partners if they are feeling the vibes. And that's because of the disruption caused by COVID-19. But Kaide Idris, as we wait for Austin to join in, definitely you have to be feeling the vibes 17 days to go.
Yeah. If you're following the news and all of that, you will get that the Olympics is around the corner. As much as we're talking about restrictions, precautions, and all of that, teams are already flooding in, getting into Tokyo, and we're already hearing, okay, there won't be foreign spectators and all of that, but the in-house spectators, talking about the locals, are already being prepared on how to be neutral, spectators, where you go to every venue and then you get to not make anybody feel like they don't have their people right there. Yep. And then if you're coming back home to Nigeria, I think from for some weeks now, since the athletics, trying to get the final tickets for the relays and all of that, the fever has gotten to another height, and I was, at some of the venues where it is really here. And today really took it to another level.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Pictures from the Saitama Prefecture. Yeah. We'll talk about the torch relay later on. Today, the charity begins from home, so we want to start with Team Nigeria. We'll do this in detail, but just to show you what's happening in Japan, 17 days to go. That's your picture on the screen. But let me quickly bring in my colleague Austin Okonakman. He joins me on the show. Greetings to you, Austin. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. And at this point, I can ask you if you're feeling the vibes.
Sporty greetings, Yemi. It's good to be on the show. Am I feeling the vibes? Maybe. Team Nigeria now going to Tokyo in batches, Remember the last time I told you maybe 3 days to the competition, and then we don't have all of those dissenting voices and people throwing doubts around, and maybe I'll feel the vibes proper. But today, with the first batch of athletes from Nigeria leaving to Tokyo, I was like, yeah, the Olympic is upon us. Yeah,
that's it. All doubts cleared at this point. Since you brought it up, let's just start with Team Nigeria. It's only fitting and proper that we start with Team Nigeria. Of course, the Sports Ministry held a send-forth ceremony for the first batch of Team Nigeria, like you rightly said, that is going to Japan on their way as we speak. And pictures from that event, of course, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Diary, was there. And of course, he gave a charge to the athletes. And he said some things that I find very instructive. And he told them to go out there, do their best for their country, and warn them against the vices, things that should not even be named in their midst. Let's just take a listen to what the sports minister said, then we'll come back to dissect the message he gave to the athletes.
As you are aware, the circumstances leading to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games are unusual in many respects, occasioned chiefly by the COVID-19 pandemic that ravaged the entire human race. Therefore, our departure for these games today is clear evidence that working in unison, in a collaborative manner, we can collectively achieve whatever we set our minds to achieve as human beings. All the athletes and officials that will feature at the Games have been severally educated on COVID-19 compliance, the IOC rulebook, anti-doping instructions, and of course, have imbibed all their professional ethics. This morning, I want to urge everyone, both the athletes and the coaches that will be going in this first match, I want to urge you all to adhere to these rules very strictly. I want you to compete safely and avoid the discomfort of any restrictions that might be in place. In continuation of his massive support to the sports sector, President Muhammadu Buhari has committed enormous resources in the preparation and participation of Team Nigeria for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games. I want to thank Mr. President for this support. And as part of this effort, we expect that sometime next week, Mr. President will formally receive the second batch before they take off. We expect that Mr. President will unveil the official Team Nigeria uniform for the Games, which will be presented to Mr. President. And we expect that Mr. President will officially hand over the Nigerian contingent to the NOC President, as is the tradition and practice, next week.
All right, fitting words spoken by the Sports Minister Sunday Diary at an occasion where athletes are departing. And the message had all the necessary ingredients when your team is departing for the Olympics. But let me allow Austin dissect the tone, the message in all that the minister said, and if there's something left, if there's something to expect.
I think it was just all right. It was a reassuring tone. It was one that was, a charge to athletes to represent their country the best way they can. Also reminding them that they should compete safely. I think that's a very important, message to the athletes. Compete safely and respect the COVID-19 guidelines, the protocols that you go to see there. Don't disrupt any of the restrictions, just so you can go there and then come back in one piece. And I love the fact that he mentioned that next week, the second batch will see Mr. President. Now, some of the athletes will go tonight to say, why didn't they just wait to see Mr. President also? That's the level of motivation I always talk about, just make people feel loved. Going to represent your country at the Olympics is a big, big deal. So it will be good to see Mr. President receive the second batch of athletes and, of course, hand them over to the Nigeria Olympic Committee and then do some unveiling, I think, of the kits and all of that. So it's just right, with what has happened with COVID-19. I've always said it that whatever we can take, we should take, and it's looking like it's a good one here. I love the fact again that 16 athletes have been adopted by the Adopt campaign. Olufunke Oshonaike and Aaron Akwadu being the latest, and with individuals and private organizations saying we want to take care of our athletes going to the Olympics. It's heartwarming. We don't get to hear this all the time with sports in Nigeria. So I'm really impressed. I must say well done.
Yeah, I'm impressed as well, and especially for the athletes being adopted, and I hope the support will not end with this Olympics, whether or not they win anything at the Olympics. Can they do this as well? For sentimental reasons, I would have loved today to be the day where everybody meets the president, we see the team uniform. A lot of us want to compare with what we've seen, the Germans, the United States. It might not be on their level, but you know, those kind of things shows your state of preparedness. But I want to get your thoughts. You listen to the sports minister. I feel it was a fitting message that had all the necessary ingredients. But I don't know, what's your own critical takeaway?
Let me start from the kits you mentioned. As much as Nigerians want to see, the entire world is also waiting. Nigeria have got a way to come out with style when it comes to, you know, their outfit for any games, whether it's football or it's the global, you know, sport game. So the entire world is waiting. Probably they need to wait 1 more week to do that. Then
It's not too long.
It's not too long. No, for you to see probably the best, you know, the best kids. Then for the minister, he said something very marquee. Yes, we want to compete. Yes, we want to win medals. Want to be on the podium and all of that. It's a charge and you know, letting the guys know for everything we've done for you. We just want to see you guys go there and do so well. But there was something underlining that really got my attention. He said, compete safely.
Yes.
And then take note of every restrictions. This is telling you that we're in a peculiar time.
Yes.
So whatever you're doing, as much as you want to compete at the highest level, it should be also guided by safety. And then the precautions, everything must be checked and all of that. If you, in that context, you do everything you have to do, then all other thing is left to something we call, you know, God of sport to now guide you to, you know, get into podium or getting medal. So I like, it's like an encompassing, you know, statement. It had almost all the ingredients, from charging to also reminding you of where we are today, which is beautiful.
And a subtle warning as well.
Yeah, exactly. Very, you know, just putting it on the ground.
Okay, let's just quickly also listen to the NOC president, Abu Gubel, and the Japanese ambassador, Matsunaga Kazuyoshi, also speaking their minds as a batch of Team Nigeria departs for Japan.
By the close of the qualification series this July, Nigeria has qualified a total of 58 athletes to represent our country at the game, followed by 22 coaches in the following 9 sports. Athletics, 18, 6 males and 12 females. Basketball, 24, 12 males and 12 females. Badminton, 3, 1 male, 2 females. Canoeing, 1 female. Gymnastics, 1 female. Rowing, 1 female. Table tennis, 4, 2 males and 2 females. Taekwondo, 1 female. Wrestling, 5, 1 male and 4 females. Total 58 athletes as of today. We don't know whether more will come because of the athletics that championship that took place. We are still waiting. But as of now, it's 58. Please, Surah, you stay in Tokyo, be very, very clean. Because as the NOCs, they are handing over the athletes that what the Honorable Minister said to us. We are receiving clean athletes. We take clean athletes to Japan. And we want to bring back clean athletes back to Nigeria. And please, let me add a word that I always say, the president says he doesn't want a dirty medal. It's better for you to go and compete and come back without a medal than to go and bring out a dirty medal that later the IOC will start chasing us, asking us to bring back that medal. It is very, very important. Please remain clean.
So in the last 1964 Tokyo Olympics, Nigerian boxer Nojim Meyegam won the bronze medal. And so I hope that the Nigerian Olympic team will win more medals in this Tokyo Olympics.
All right, Japanese ambassador wishing us well, and the NOC president talking about a dirty medal. Says it's better you compete and not win anything than win a dirty medal. And I also talked about that message, also part of the minister's message, very subtle. Just go there, do the right things.
It's a clean athlete. We're taking clean athletes.
We're taking clean.
I want you guys to come back clean.
As far as we're concerned. When we get any medal, we don't want to return it.
No, we don't. We don't. And I think that's what it is. And for the Japanese, ambassador, I think
wishing us well.
What he even did is taking us, telling us our own history. 1954, and that's what it is. Probably you remember what these guys have done, or at their time, and then he spurs you on to do.
All right, let me go to Austin. 58 athletes as of now.
Yep.
It's doubtful if any more will qualify, but let's stick with 58. And from 58 athletes, what's the baseline for you? What will be a good outing? We've always consoled us. Well, we've always said participating at the Olympics is all that matters, but victories are good. Victories are sweet. Everybody loves anybody who wins. So from 58 athletes, in terms of a medal haul, what are you expecting? Realistically, though.
Yeah, I was right there at the Rio 2016 Olympics, and then I was, gunning for Team Nigeria to at least, win a gold medal, and then we ended with just a bronze in football, and now we don't even have football for male and female teams. So, I think our athletes are in good form. I think athletics can do something for us this time around. Blessing Akabari, Ese Brume, even Kadego to an extent, I think athletics can really get us talking. Wrestling, although I had the crew, I look at her every day and the vibes that she's giving, she didn't want to speak to me at the Rio 2016 Olympics because she knows that she wasn't happy with her performance. Can we win medals? Yes, but I cannot tell you. I struggle to tell you the sort of medals we can win. And with COVID-19 now, you can't really tell what sort of Olympics we're going to have. But I'm confident that Team Nigeria will be at the podium at this Olympics. But I can't tell you the medal they will win.
All right, that's my colleague Austin playing it safe. Idris.
I think Austin just touched, some part that I will touch. Starting off with wrestling. At the Rio, he mentioned 2016.
Yeah.
She finished 5th, and really she was bitter. And I got to interview her some weeks ago, and she said, "It is beautiful what is happening to me right now. I'm in good shape. I'm in good form. I'm fighting some of the athletes I will meet at the Olympics and all of that, and getting to beat them. And in the 57 kg is like the most enviable thing when it comes to female wrestling." Yeah. Now, going to the Olympics, she had said nothing matters to her. Everything she had done would almost mean nothing if she does not get on that podium. And she's not talking about just getting on that podium. She's talking about gold. Now, sometimes they say aim for the moon. If you get to fail, you fall among the stars. You're aiming for gold. If in the case where something doesn't happen, probably already in the final, then there is a silver waiting. Now let's go to, taekwondo. Ayana Cho is showing something beautiful. We might say it's too early a time, but the Olympics also give room for shockers, where you find someone from your native doing so well. You go out there just supporting that person for the sake of supporting them because they're from, your place.
Idris, I have to pause you. We're supposed to go on a break, but there's an update from the Euro Championships, and that's it on your screen. The Atsuris have scored a goal. They're a goal up, and the goal came from the boots of Federico Chiesa. He scored for the Atsuris in the 60th minute. Of course, Austin is watching, listening to us and watching at the same time. We'll come back to give updates on that, but we need to go on a break right about now. We promise to be your eyes and your ears. At Wembley, it's 1-0 in favor of Italy as of now. But we'll go on a break and we'll return for more Sports Tonight. All right, I'm resisting the temptation to go straight away to the Euros, but I have things in front of me that I have to follow. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit. All right, so Austin talked about it. Kennedy talked about it as well, where the medals can come from. And a lot of people, some that I respect a lot, have said we have a bunch of athletes in athletics who are very good and should get us medals at the Olympics. So today we're starting a segment of the show that we called Knowing Your Athletes. So we're starting with the athletes that will represent us in athletics. So we read out the names. Some you know, some you don't, but just in case, it's the Olympic year. So let's just give you the names. Of course, you've been told earlier about some of them that will represent us. It's right there on your screen. I'll do my best to read as quickly as I can. Odudu Divine, of course, he's going to represent Nigeria in the men's 100 meters and the 200. Adegoke Enoch, men's 100 meters. You have Ishekiri, men's 100 meters. Enekwechi Chukwebuka for the men's shot put. Blessing Okagbare, as usual, a lot resting on our shoulders. She's going to represent Nigeria in the 100, 200 meters, then 4 by 100 meters women's relay. Wokocha Grace will be the 100 meters and 200 meters, same as Blessing, really, same number of events. Amusha Toby, women's 100 meters hurdles. A lot rested on our shoulder as well, it must be said. Then you also have Ophili Favor, women's 200 meters and the 4 by 100 women's relay. Usoro Root in the women's long jump and triple jump. S.A. Bruber in the women's long jump, also another prospect at the Olympics. You have the lady doing the amateur, Patience George, women's 400, 4 by 400 mixed relay. Chukuma Rosemary also will be in the women's 100 meters and 4 by 100 meters women's relay. Knowledge Omovo will also be in the women's 100 meters relay. And it goes on. Oyekwere Chioma will be the discus throw. Imarbong Unse, of course, leads little or no introduction, especially in Nigerian circles, with what she's done recently. 4 by 400 mixed relay. Nathaniel Sampson, 4 by 400 mixed relay. Okezie Chidi, 4 by 400 mixed relay. Those are the athletes. Let me just quickly go straight to Austin. You've said this before. I don't know if you still maintain your stance. A lot of people have said that this bunch of athletes are very good, in spite of the fact that in recent times might not have reflected in Nigeria's medal haul at big events. But these guys, we have a good chance with these guys to win something. So let's zero in on athletics. You know, what do you think we get from athletics? Knowing fully well that we have only the women's 100 meters relayed, others chopped off. But we're going to be relying on the individuals.
Yeah, mixed feelings for team athletics, particularly the men not qualifying for the 4 by 100, and what a push they gave it. They were just unfortunately missed it by split seconds, you know. So, but these things happen. But I'm really optimistic about athletics. I love the vibes that they are showing. They look hungry, spirited performances we're seeing here and there. Just recently, Blessing Akagbare recorded another personal best. You know, when you look at some of the guys that we just mentioned, you can tell that, look, Divine Oduduru has got us talking all from last year to the start of this year. Enoch Adegoke doing beautiful things, you know, right there at the athletics meet in Lagos. Ishekiri is also in good form and has been consistent. Enekwechi Chukwebuka needs no introduction with the shot put. He was right there at the Rio 2016, and he's saying that with the form that he has shown this year, that he can actually go all the way. Blessing Akagbare, she's been a blessing for this country for a very, very long time. And I love the fact that she's telling us that she feels younger than she has ever felt before, and that's how to get into the competition. Wokocha Grace, what a story she's having with athletics, you know. And this is a testament of catch them young at home, make your athletes at home comfortable, and they can actually compete at the world stage. What do you want me to say about Toby Amusan? I was with her at the Rio 2016 Olympics, and she got so close also. And right after the Rio 20 Olympics till date, she's been on fire. She's been consistent. Just for the unfortunate incident right there at the Lagos meet where the timer malfunctioned, where she would have broken a long-time record set by Gloria Alozie. So it's cool. 18 athletes in track and field events. And I love the fact that we've got athletes qualifying for hammer throw, for discus. It's a beautiful mix for us to be hopeful. The Olympics is a global stage where the best of the best competes.
All right.
When you look at these lists and how they've qualified and the momentum that they've been sustaining, you can believe, and that's why I'm rooting for Team Athletics to give us a good representation in Tokyo.
All
right, Kenny, this quick one. What would you consider a good outing from the athletics team?
I think podium finishes. I'm not looking at color of medal.
Color of the medal. Okay.
Yes, podium finishes. I think in a very long time I've not been this excited with the kind of team we're churning out. Like the minister said, not a jamboree. It should be the guys who, are medal hopefuls and
have the potential to
have
win
the
something.
potential. So you can mention the names. I was reeling out. I got to Ayana Cho. She looks so, promising. The canoeing, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi, short put is length from what happened at 2016 to now. And then you're talking of people like Toby Loba Amuson. See, athletics, this year already, speaking with Divine Oduduru just some few weeks ago, he said, whatever happens, the young American that broke the, 200 meters record of, one of the American greats, still did not beat what Divine Oduduru had done this year. He said, I'm still the fastest man when it comes to 200 meters in the year 2021. That is the kind of mindset I'm taking to the Olympics. So I'm excited. Usha Shekiri is another very exciting person. Enoch Adegoke is the fastest man in Nigeria right now. The whole of Africa is talking about him, and we're waiting to see what he can do. I was also at the MOC meet where they almost got to, qualify for the 4x100 meters.
Yeah, a bit
but,
too late, though.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. But you saw the kind of, turn up they had out, right there. Then if you go to the ladies, I think I'm even more particular about the ladies. Nwokocha, Blessing Okagbare, Ese Brume, these ladies look like, they are heading for something, right. and I'll be keeping tabs on them. Fingers are so crossed right now for me to losing them just to talk about medals that we've been able to win.
All right, we'll see. All right, let's have a global picture now. Let's talk about the touch relay. Really, we always start with the touch relay, but now, since there's a lot to talk about Team Nigeria and charity, because we started from Team Nigeria. But let's just go to the Saitama Prefecture and look at what's happening with the touch relay. And, of course, it's been mixed, but this time the crowds watched the touch relay, which is just about 17 days. They lined the street. The last time we came here, we were talking about touch relay was on Friday, and we saw that in that particular prefecture, people didn't come out.
It was empty.
It was empty.
It was
but
empty
in this
for a while.
you can see people from rooftops,
yes.
line the streets, there was a proper procession.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're saying. You see, there's something about the mind of the fan or the mind of the sports follower.
Sports lover, yeah.
When it starts to get close,
yeah,
they start to think of
they rolled out the drugs as well.
Enjoying the moment. Yes, there have been fears, there's been, concerns and all of that. But this is the Olympics. It's right there in your country, in your state, in your place. And you feel, okay, they've sanctioned that it will hold and all of that. Let's just enjoy the moment. And hopefully we don't hear of wrong stories emanating from this. They just want to have fun with the Olympics and everybody that is involved in it.
All right, so that's going to be our last story on the Olympics. So it's time to move on. Let's talk about the Aiteo Cup, second round fixtures that we have for you. Matches to be played tomorrow. Let's give that to you quickly. 3SE will take on Gombe United. That match is going to be played in Lokoja. Kano Pillars will take on Smart FC. That game also will be played in Lokoja. Wiki Tourist will slug it out with Osun United. Of course, that game also to be played in Lokoja. So 3 matches to be played there. Kwara United will take on Kebbi United in Mina. Jigawa Golden Stars will take on Plateau United. That game will be played in Gombe. Then you also have Katsina United taking on El Kanemi in Jos. Aqua United taking on Gateway. That's the club from Ogun State in Abuja. Warri Wolves will take on Green Berets. That game will be played in Ilori. You have Yomedezi Stars up against Lobi Stars. That game to be played in Kaduna. Sunshine Stars will take on Kogi United in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Insurance, talking about Bendel Insurance, will be up against Nassau United in Enugu. Then you have Sokoto United trying on Rivers United for size. Game to be played in Lafia. And, of course, Safra United up against Abia Warriors, also to be played in Lafia. Ekiti United taking on Heartland. That game in the second round to be played in Benin. Then, of course, Niger Tornadoes will have their day in Kano, where they'll play their second round fixtures in the Aiteo Cup. Let me go to Austin quickly. Interesting fixtures to look at. Spite of some glitches here and there, at least we've gotten to this point, and we're happy we're going to see the games. But a lot to choose from, really.
A lot, yeah. I mean, it's the upset cup, and we get to see, a lot of upsetting results, and that's the fun of the Aiteo Cup. That's just the longest, football competition in the country, and when we're going through all of that, we're wondering when is it going to be back. So I was just trying through some of going through some of the fixtures. I was taking a look at it, and it looks like it's the NNL versus the MPFL,
Yeah.
So some of those small teams will be looking, to get us talking by going all out to get the result. I see Ekiti taking on Heartland. I see Aqua taking on Gateway, and then some of the other Zamfara also busy. So it's a whole lot of talk. It's the second round. Some teams have come up from their state round where they met champions. And now it's showtime. So after tomorrow, we'll get to, see more of the action and then get to talk more about it. But it's beautiful to know that we found a way to have the Aiteo Cup back.
All right. I think I like the last part of what he said.
Yeah.
It's very important to know that we found a way. It wouldn't be good to just not
put it away.
Yeah, just put it aside.
Especially last week, there is a whole lot of talk about the FA Cup not holding. There were some stories where stakeholders, club owners, club chairmen came together talking about payments for them to execute the FA Cup. For us to get to this point where we're talking of playing it tomorrow, good one. And of all the games, like he said, I think is the MPFL against the NNL, but I found a game where it is MPFL against MPFL, Jigawa Golden Stars against Plateau United, and I think I'm having my eyes on that because you feel you're a big boy, and then you want to, take out another one to just pave way. You're moving further in there, so it's beautiful. The FA Cup, like he said, it's always the upset cup when it comes to FA Cup anywhere in the world. It's a place where you dream for the small clubs. No disrespect, Ekiti or Shun. Smart, you just take this cup so seriously, feeling these are places where you can get into the mix of storytelling. Probably you get into the semi-finals or even get into to win it. So we're waiting to see how this year's one will pan out.
All right, we'll leave it at that for now, and we go straight to Wembley again to give you a quick update and give you the situation report. And let's just quickly do that for you. 75 minutes of football, 76 minutes of football played at Wembley. It's 1-0 in favor of the Azuris. Goal scored by Federico Chiesa. Of course, his father played for the Azuris, never won anything major, and now he's knocking on the door.
And it's been a blessing.
I'm telling you.
Federico Chiesa has been
at Juventus, now with the Azuris.
For the Azuris, he's been the super sub. We talk about super subs every now and then, and some people just have that tag.
Takes chances most players
Yes, won't. Yeah, exactly.
He's brave.
He's brave. And he's so direct. Like, you already know what you want to do before it comes.
Juventus, he's probably one of the only players who doesn't give the ball to Ronaldo.
Exactly.
Because he wants to
Because
score.
he knows what he wants to do, and he does it so well. And so you cannot fault him. Why didn't you get the ball across to Ronaldo? Because you're using the ball wrongly. He does keep the ball and then uses it right. And for, this game where he had that chance and then nicks it, we will talk about this story today. We'll talk about it tomorrow and talk about how well he's been so magnificent when it comes to his contribution from the bench for the Azores.
All right. Austin is still with us. And it must be said, in all fairness, that at some point the Spaniards dominated the game. Yeah, it has to be said. Donnarumma had to make a couple of saves. But as long as the Italians were in the game and didn't concede the proper tournament team, and this was going to happen. So we're approaching 80 minutes. What else can the Spaniards do? What can they throw at the Italians? It appears they've thrown everything. Probably the kitchen sink that is left. They've thrown everything already. But is there any other thing they could do? And their captain already on the yellow.
They just have to push, try to see how they can get that goal and then come back. And they've shown us that they can score late goals. You know, we've seen them, you know, do that at this competition. I've called them a lucky team so far. But when you get to the semi-finals, you must prove that you actually know what you're doing. But Yemi, let us take a minute to glorify that goal scored by Chiesa. It was a clean Italian snatch and grab. Devastating counter-attacking goal from one end of the post to another, and that's how Italians can catch you. The moment you think that you can attack them, they can actually counter-attack you. It was such a beautiful goal. Such goals, we need to talk about it, we need to celebrate it, and I'm sure the way they celebrated in Rome, that's the sort of goal that can actually take you into the final. It was a beautiful, clean, counter-attacking football that ended in a goal.
So what do we see? Today, in my opinion, I may be wrong, but it's my opinion, I think the Spaniards have played better than they have played in this tournament,
all through the
this
competition.
game against it. And it's such a shame that it looks like they might lose on the day they have played so well.
And that's football for you. And, you know, I always say that the moment you think you know football, it just stuns you, it humbles you. And I said it again, that the Spaniard, I've been part of those pundits that have called them lucky. So when you get to the semi-finals, you need to bring your A game. And they showed that in the first half. They showed that till about the 60th minute when Chiesa stunned them with that goal. And as I said, it was a devastating counter-attacking goal. They didn't see it coming. But they need to find a way to get back in it. Everybody needs to push. You need to take that risk, push, bring everything that you can do to get that goal that can, you know, take the game into extra time. They're trying to do just that. But, you know, the Italians, when they want to defend, they will defend so well. So it's a shame that's football for you. But, hey, it's football. Anything can happen. We've seen late goals at the Euros.
And it has happened. It has happened. It has happened, Austin. Yeah. A goal has been scored. The Spaniards are level as we speak. 80th minute mark. They've been able to. Alvaro Morata, the player that has received threats, insults, at some point, he has missed 2 penalties, by the way, in this tournament, and has received so much threats. And some of us joked, I was in the newsroom, I joked with a couple of colleagues that the coach didn't play because he knew he was going to lose goals. But now, this is redemption time for Alvaro Morata.
Yeah, for Morata and Sarabia, they had to be. They left them on the bench for Olmo, and then, you know, Oyarzabal to take their place. So funny, Oyarzabal plays from outright, and they straight up brought him to the middle. Probably we could say sometimes that coaches, when it works, they know what they are doing with all of these chances. Maybe Morata gets to the whole 90 or 80 minutes, is always having him doing so much. Coming in those little period and then he will cool head and then get the job done. Probably that's what we've seen. Also, you can go back to the goal he got in the round of 16 that got them, you know, over the line. And then he's a world-class player any day, anytime, whenever he wants to turn up. But we'll always talk about chances missed from, you know, Morata. We sometimes don't give credit to him for the ones he gets to pick. So now we're seeing maybe the master game from the bench, talking about the coaches, Mancini on one side, Luis Enrique on the other side. And also both players, both coaches were fantastic players in their time. Maybe this is the time to roll back, you know, what you can do. And we're already having a game in our hand. Maybe these are games that, you know, we're going to extra time, take the whole 30 minutes and then go to penalties. And like Austin said, whenever you think you know football so well, it stings you. It gets to stun you. Yes, you get a slap on and tells you, hey, you don't know me. And like we always say too, it's a biscuit. You can hardly tell where it will come cracking.
It's going to crack. You don't know where it's, you know, it's going to break into pieces. We wanted a game. Now we have a game on our hands. Very interesting. But guys, let's go ahead of ourselves and look at tomorrow before we spend the remaining time to look at the Grand Slam tournament. We'll also give you a slide of Copa America. That's interesting. We might, it's possible, we might have Argentina and Brazil, but that's going to be after the second semi-final. Brazil have got the job done. But guys, probably in 30 seconds, do this quickly. What should we expect tomorrow? England and Denmark. A lot of people already singing, it's coming home, it's coming home. Nothing has come home yet, but I'm hearing the chants, I'm hearing the song, and from where Austin is standing, I'm very sure he's heard a lot of that too.
Every day on radio, every day, you know, and just I went out, they were rushing to come back to get on this live show. I could see cars passing with the England flag, being hoisted, and everybody staying optimistic. Looked at if they can beat Germany, if they can get off the quarterfinal hurdles, why can't they beat Denmark? But then again, it's football. I think I remember telling you they were going to score 3 or 4 or 3-1 or 3-0. And then they ended up scoring 4, and that's football for you. So let's see what they can do against Denmark. The odds favors England. They are in good form. Harry Kane is scoring. Sterling is scoring. Jordan Henderson got his first goal for the 3 Lions. Everybody, Declan Rice, everybody's playing beautiful football. So Denmark should be ready. They have a game in their hands, but you never say never. But I'm sure the best team will win. I'm being careful, actually.
Yeah, the best team definitely is going to win.
That was being careful. I got that.
Your thoughts quickly.
Yeah, what's the name? The goalkeeper, the Danish goalkeeper.
Schmeichel.
Schmeichel. When at the presser, when he was asked, what do you feel about his coming home? He said, has it come home yet? It hasn't come home. But it is what the English, it's also pressure for the team playing the English team. It feels like, it's come, and it's Wembley.
A lot of people are supporting Denmark because of the unfortunate incident with Eriksen.
Yep.
And now people
That's
are beginning
sympathy support.
And people are beginning to remember 1992,
yeah,
where they were not even supposed to be at the Euros.
But for World War.
And eventually, they won.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening here?
Yeah, I think 2 things that looks like working for Denmark. The Eriksen issue that has gotten the captain and all other teammates talking about want to do it for him. Then also, I think the spirit of 92 is getting into them. So let's see. I think that match will be even way more massive than today's.
Spirit of 92. Okay. Our parting shot on the show tonight will be the Euros. Situation report as we prepare to leave the studio. 90 minutes of football, actually. Let's see that on the screen. 90 minutes of football, and it's 1 goal apiece. We wanted a game. Now we have it. 90 minutes, and it appears we might be going into extra time. This is why we love football. And this is how we're going to wrap things up on the show. Fortunately, we can't be able to tell you who won. But first, Kehinde Idris, I want to thank you for your time on the show.
It's good to be always.
The conversation never ends. We take it out of the studio.
Does.
All right. Thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of your day. We totally enjoyed this. We'll be back here again tomorrow to do what we love doing best, which is taking you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sport. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.